Warning, this podcast contains episodes completely out of order. What's up, everyone, and welcome to the As Seen on TV podcast for Supergirl, Season 1, Episode 4, maybe 5. Livewire. I'm your host, Dom. With me, my co-host, Cleo.
Hello.
Rachel. And Erica. How goes it?
Good.
Down with a little bit of a cold, but other than that, right.
Yeah. So,
'tis the season.
Yeah, it is. It is.
La la la.
La 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 la. All right. So this episode, the reason for my intro thing, is we had the Paris terrorist attacks, that happened, and
A couple days ago.
Yeah, it was about 3 or 4 days ago. And
Friday the 13th.
Yes. And they kind of, because the plot line in episode 4 of Supergirl mirrored kind of the bombings and the incidents and stuff that was going on, they decided to switch these episodes out. So technically this is episode 5. But they reversed the order to kind of give some time and, some sympathy. We are getting we're getting the episode that was supposed to air last week, next week. So they just flipped episode 4 and 5.
They did something similar over the summer with Mr. Robot.
Okay.
And the season finale feature had a scene where someone, I forget if it was actually a reporter, but someone gets shot, basically.
Okay.
And that was at the same time that that reporter and the people on camera on live TV got shot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
That whole incident.
Yes,
so they pushed the season finale a week later. So as soon as this happened, I was like, okay, this sounds familiar. And honestly, it didn't really feel, for the Mr. Robot thing, it didn't really feel that connected.
Mm-hmm.
They pushed it anyway.
Right. So
I think they're just trying to cover their butts.
Yeah, I mean, it's more of a respect thing, and
of course,
I get that. It was good of them. Probably me personally, I would have preferred them to just push everything back a week, but then I know that really messes with their schedules, and that's a whole nightmare and everything.
And the network's scrambling to put something in that spot, and
So, in short notice, this was probably the best thing to do, but I just wanted to give a warning out there for anybody who may be watching this later when season 1 is on DVD or Netflix, that even though this is listed episode 4, it may technically be episode 5 for you guys. So
I still think we should put a question mark after 4.
4? 4? I don't know.
Yeah.
4.5.
So basically, what got out of moving the episodes around, Thanksgiving got bumped up a week early. So we had Thanksgiving this week on the show. There was a talk between Wynn and Kara, where he said, nice when we can talk about a metaphorical bomb for a change, which they've never dealt with bombs before, but that would have been something you understood after watching the bomb episode. So
yeah.
So
that makes sense now that I think about it.
Yeah, that little line was a little weird, I mean,
it was a little out of place, but not too much that ruined the whole.
And probably the biggest thing was James and Lucy Lane's relationship just kind of escalated really quickly.
I know. It's like, oh wow, well they're moving fast.
Yeah. So what's going to be
Although
weird...
that didn't surprise me.
No, it didn't surprise me at all. But what's going to be weird now is technically episode 5 for us. It's going to go back to them working on their relationship. I
wonder, I think I said this to Dom before, but I wonder if they'll trim those scenes to make it less weird.
It depends on how much of it took up the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, she was in a whole 5 seconds of this episode. So I think if it's the same or a similar amount of time, it'd be easy to shave some of those lines down.
Yeah.
Maybe make it less weird.
Could be.
Yeah. But again, they might not.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Who knows? Because they probably could have just shaved the. No, I guess they couldn't because there was a conversation with James and on the phone, and then okay.
Well, we also don't know.
They shaved anything out of this episode, but
they might have shaved some stuff out of this episode that we just watched. Mm-hmm. There may have been some lines between him and Lana. Lucy. What the fuck's her name?
Lucy.
I don't fucking care.
Lucy Lane. Double L's.
I don't fucking care. I don't like her.
DC double L names. Double letter names.
I like the actress. Don't like the character.
Yeah.
Her name is Lana Lang. There you go.
Oh God. Lana Lang, Lucy Lane, Lois Lane, Jimmy Olsen. What?
Lucy Lawless?
Yes.
That's what I thought. Lucy Lawless.
So, other than the fact that the episode was reversed on us, what did you guys think of the episode overall?
I really liked it.
Yeah, it gave us a lot of back stuff that we were questioning last time. Like her whole power thing, and if she knew how to fly before, and so obviously she had her powers. They might not have been as intense on Krypton as they are on Earth, but she still had them.
Yeah, and we went 3 episodes with nothing from the parents, like just the lines when she first went to them, and now we get not only the mother coming in talking a lot, but flashbacks of the father.
Right.
Yep.
I mean, you say 3, it could technically be 4. So
that's true.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure. I mean, they obviously knew what power she has, so I'm guessing her cousin, enlightened them on what she can do.
Yeah. So,
especially I love when they sent the girls up to the room and they're like, "Don't listen with your super hearing.
Do not use your super hearing."
Okay, if I was a 13-year-old girl, what's the first thing I do? Use your
super hearing.
Yeah.
But obviously she didn't because she had no clue what was going on.
That kind of was echoed again in the episode where she was like, "Why is Leslie in that office?"
Yeah.
And the guy was like, "You have super hearing." Oh yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. She's learned to be human.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of cool because she respects other people's privacy and stuff, which is good.
The whole thing with Leslie that I found so interesting is it kind of gave Kara a little bit of a preview of, hey, when Kat's done with you, this is what you could turn out to be.
Yeah, you could. But I think we got enough from Kat to realize that Kat doesn't want that to happen again.
Right.
Like, Kat wants to, know about Kara's life.
Well, I don't know. I don't see that. I don't mean Kara herself. I mean Supergirl.
Oh,
so
yes.
When Supergirl stops turning a profit for Kat, Supergirl's going to be dead to her.
There's something that happened between them two, because the way Kat was acting towards Leslie was more like a mother figure. Like she was mothering, she was hovering, and it put a human aspect on Kat. It was like she felt like almost like she raised her wrong, and she should have done this, kind of like a mother's guilt. That's what it felt like. So there was something between them two. Maybe it was her first protege or intern or something like that, and she felt like she failed her.
I think that's true, and I think because she doesn't have a daughter, she has a son, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think mentoring Leslie was as close as she would have gotten to having a daughter.
Right.
And to see that because that's what she said. She's hard on people, but she wasn't hard on Leslie. When Leslie, the brasher she was, the more she rewarded her. And I think she was like, I could spoil a daughter or whatever.
Yeah, she just felt like it got that human. I'm like, Kat's actually human.
Yeah. Well, because
she has feelings.
There was a point where I was like, the jury's still out on whether you have a soul or not.
Yeah, right.
And then she kind of did some, human things, and I was like,
soul searching.
Maybe you have a soul. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe
mean-
that's the cat her son sees.
Yeah, I
So-
mean, not only Kat though, but this episode focused a lot on humanizing Kara as well.
Well, they've always
You know.
done a really good job of humanizing Kara.
They do, but like there was no emphasis on her powers this episode. It's not like
Well,
the last one where they're like she's trying to learn how to use, her breath ability.
mm-hmm.
And then I don't know. It just seemed like she's trying to work out the kinks of using her powers. This one was just a straight up fight, and it really dealt more with like, her family life, her friends, her job, the struggles, her daily struggles as Kara, as opposed to her struggles as Supergirl.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel, and in terms of focusing on Kara, whatever, this was a very balanced episode because there was the flashbacks.
Yeah.
There was a good amount of a fair amount of Supergirl, and there was a fair amount of Kara. Is a nicely balanced episode.
Yep.
I do love the flashbacks. They were done really well. We got a little more insight on why, her mom, she was so weird. She never called her mom. She always called her my foster mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt that was a little, I mean, I'm not saying that she should have called her mom, or maybe she just felt weird calling her mom, but
I think
mean,
she probably does
at the
because
same time though, she was already like 12.
exactly.
13.
Yeah, 13 when she landed, and what,
Mhm.
12 years went by.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So she's at the age where she's old enough to like remember her mom.
Well, yeah.
And that whole thing, and she had this whole burden of being like this alien species. So it's not like a typical adoption, where.
Well, I know, but
you know.
I know people that have had stepmoms and stuff, even though they're not their real mom and their mom's still alive, they still call her mom just because they feel, that closeness. And
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think part of it is just the alien aspect.
It might be. It might be, or it might be that our Eliza tried to make it as normal for her as possible, but still she didn't feel that connection with her.
Could be.
I think she feels the connection. I just think she was pretty old when she, started living with them. So
I don't know. It just feels weird that she kept calling her my foster mom. And it's like, who does that? I mean, yeah, okay, calling her by her name, okay, yeah, but just going around my foster mom.
Well, to me, it kind of seemed more like that's how she was explaining it for the people.
yeah.
That was the more of the Kara character.
And well, even when she was talking to Alex, she never didn't say like our mom or mom or anything. She said Eliza. She called her by her first name.
Yeah, well, even Eliza said my mom, not mom or our mom.
Mhm.
So, I mean, that just seems like that's the dynamic that they have.
Yeah, maybe.
That's normal for them.
It's normal for them.
But
whatever normal is.
But
Exactly.
her mom, foster mom, whatever you want to call her, dropped kind of a big bombshell.
Woo, yeah.
She knew about the DEO this whole time. She was kind of upset at Alex for joining, and Alex is really frustrated because she's like, you told me to take care of Kara, like this huge burden that you put on my shoulders, and I did it the best I could, da da da. But with the mom's big concern is more that, that's where her father, that's where her husband worked, that's where Kara and Alex's dad worked, and
Jeremiah.
yeah, supposedly died in a plane crash, which to me means he's probably not dead at all.
He's probably not.
So
They're not gonna kill off Dane Kane right now.
no, I'm 100% expecting him to be alive, maybe corrupted by some alien tech, or
I want to know why they decided to take him over Kara. He knew there was a reason that they would accept it.
Well, didn't he say why?
He did. He said he had all this research on Superman, and he knew all this stuff. He knew everything on Superman. So taking him, they were able to get the folder. Kara was just a little girl at the time, so she was not necessarily, too important to them.
But how did he get all the information on Superman?
Well, that might be why Clark chose them in the first place.
Yeah.
So there was there's a little background
Yeah.
that we're missing
Oh,
somewhere.
100%.
Yeah,
So.
because Clark did not choose them randomly.
Randomly, no.
There's a reason he picked them.
Yep. Yeah, and I'm sure that the father did some, study work on Superman too, to know what to expect from Kara.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Or Superman came to them as like, I don't know, where she didn't actually crash in their yard, so
No.
he had to have like maybe he had her in a place at his place, and he just like went and talked to them, said, okay, my cousin's here. These are her needs. This is what she can do.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Sat down and had
It's
a
just
little
like
chat.
I can only imagine when she crashed, like Superman had to be the one to go find her, and then he had to like discover the message in the pod, because there's no way when him as a child crash landing on Earth expected his cousin to be following immediately. He's a baby. He's not going to remember that. So like he would have had to find out, whatever through the hologram message that that was his cousin, and realize that, and because he wasn't planning on her coming, so he didn't have a contingency plan. So
he didn't know what happened to her.
Yeah, so I want to know that whole backstory about how the father, how they gotten to adopt, Kara.
I'm sure it's gonna be common.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially because Kara and Alex definitely gotta pretend like everything's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Yeah, which they did a really bad job of at the end.
Terrible
Just
job.
like, things are fine.
Terrible job.
But I did love Alex in this, and she showed a little more personality.
Yeah.
She might have had, a couple bottles of wine to show it, but
So funny.
She just, I don't know, I liked her in this episode. She was basically, all worried that, oh God, she is mad at us. She's baking pie. She's not mad, Kara's just like, she's not mad.
Right, though. She was
right. She's like, oh my God, what if she's pretending to be not to be happy, and she's really, she's just like,
I figured it out. She's acting normal, but she's really mad.
really sad.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting. I'm curious to see how deep that goes. Like I said, the dad's probably not dead.
Mm-mm.
No.
And when they said call him the boss, Hank's name, they were just like, ooh. So he's just, and he hasn't aged, so they're gonna figure something out.
Yep.
Yeah. And he's a cyborg.
He's a cyborg.
The only other thing that I have to bring up was kind of a small one-off comment with when he said his family doesn't do holidays, with his father being in prison.
I was like, who's his dad?
His father is the Toyman. This was found out through casting and stuff, in advance, whatever, but father's the Toyman, so he's in prison right now, and the Toyman uses he weaponizes toys, which it's gonna be cool. So
I just love it. He's like, he's in prison. What for? He's just a really bad man. We don't talk about that side of my family.
Yeah. So it doesn't seem like he has any crazy special powers or anything like that. But did you Google the Toyman?
I did, and I freaking remember him from the Batman animated series.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's creepy.
Yes. So cannot wait. Cannot wait for Toyman. They wouldn't set something up like that with that.
No, they wouldn't mention that if they weren't going to bring him in at some point in time.
Yep. So it will be in. I know the role has already been cast and everything, so expect to see it even this season. But yeah.
And I do love that, Kara, actually said that her parents died to Kat, and she's like, they died in a fire.
She's not wrong.
She's not wrong.
Be a fire that engulfed the entire planet.
But I think that shock, the look of shock on Kat's face was like, she was like, oh, like, oh crap, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, there's a lot of stuff I don't know about you.
Yeah. Just a little bit.
Yeah. You ladies have anything else for this episode?
I'm waiting, and I know I'll be waiting a long time for whenever the crossovers happen in the future. But I'm waiting for the DEO to actually be Argus or something that Amanda Waller has her fingers in. Like, I'm just waiting for it to happen.
Yeah.
Was it like last year? Not last year. Last week or something where there was a Checkmate crossover or something. Somebody thought it was Checkmate.
Well, we were talking about Cord. Cord's not his name. What was his name? Maxwell.
Yeah. Thank the Lord. Yeah.
Yeah. And how there is a version of him that is one of the leaders of Checkmate.
Right.
So, and honestly, the way what they're wearing in the DEO feels like Checkmate.
Yeah, I mean, there's a group I'm in, and people are talking about, this, and they're like, one girl's like, I can't wait to see Superman. And I'm like, they're not going to do that. I didn't want to
for a long time.
I don't want to burst her bubble and be that bitch on, Sorry, they're not going to be Superman and Supergirl.
It's not happening.
I don't want to be that. But yeah.
She's got to be her own superhero first.
Yeah, people are thinking, I think that's why they kind of did the Superman thing at the first couple ones to kind of get people drawn in, but then they backed off. People are still going to be expecting it. So maybe people will keep watching it expecting to see him. For some reason, which is retarded because you should watch for the show.
He'll show up, just probably not this season.
Yeah, no. They did a very good job in the first 3 episodes of saying Superman is in this universe. He exists. People know all about him. But this is not about Superman.
Mm-hmm.
And that Kara has to be her own hero first.
Right.
When they finally do, I hope they do it like an awkward Sunday dinner cousins meeting pretty much for the very first time. That awkward
like
funny
a
Sunday
weird
dinner.
family reunion.
Yeah. Or maybe it's when they jail their aunt, they come together or something.
Normally this is the point in the show when we read next week's synopsis, but since next week's synopsis was already read last week for this week, I don't know what to do, so I'm not gonna I'm not gonna read I'm sorry, that's funny. Right, I'm not gonna read the synopsis for Livewire at the end of this week either because we just watched that episode. So
that just sounded so funny. I was like, are we watching episode Doctor Who here? What's going on? No, yeah.
So, and rereading it is, I don't know. It's weird. So next week we're either gonna end up with we're gonna end up with episode 5 for called How Does She Do It? But that's either depending on if you're watching it live on air or if you're watching on YouTube. I mean, not YouTube, Netflix or DVD. It may be episode 4. YouTube. So, yeah.
Watch us on YouTube. We're on YouTube.
With this being CBS, it'll probably most likely be CBS All Access, not Netflix. But whatever.
Yeah.
Well, just put it down the information that this was technically supposed to be episode 5, but they switched it.
Yeah, even the production numbers. This is listed as episode 5. So.
Yeah.
Production wise, it's episode 5. But yeah, so episode 4, How Does She Do It next week? Or episode 5. Whatever. You know what we mean. Cleo, where can the people find you?
You can find me on the socials at Cleomoto and on Twitch at the Cleomoto.
Just screw it, we're doing it live.
Mm-hmm. Rachel, where can the people find you?
They can find me at Twitter at Savannah17 and on Twitch at Savannah, which I hope to be streaming soon after I get over this freaking head cold.
Excellent. Erica, where can the people find you?
Lost in Pikachu's.
Oh no.
Got the Pikachu's.
Pikachu army.
Army of the Pikachus!
That would be the cutest army ever.
You can find me pretty much anywhere online at Erica Rank 7.
Excellent.
Except not MySpace.
You can find me down below at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM.
Do.
Mr. Sandman.
You can also find us all on Facebook, Gmail, G+, Twitter, and right here on YouTube at /ASO TV Podcast for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows. Until next week, which is really last week.
Blah.
I was going to sing the song. I was going to sing the song that never ends by Zor-El.
We'll see you last week into next week's tomorrow. Yesterday.
Okay.
This is the future past.
The future past.